I mean, banning porn in the UK makes us a nutter country, but, you know, Russia's been a nutter country for a very long time. You know, way back. When they first had their silly ideas about communism, they've been a nutter country for like 100 years. Russia's been, you know, Russia was a great country before then. You know, fucking all that culture. All the greatest writers came from Russia. We got all those ballets and all the great Russian folk tales and some artists and I don't know, fucking dancing bears and shit. I don't know, a lot of good stuff from Russia. And then they just became a fucking nutter country. Well, you got to feel for them, haven't you? But you know, I mean, at this stage, you know, I mean, Putin is playing the role of you know, that Gaddafi played for a long time as the world's supervillain, and he loves it more than Gaddafi does. Gaddafi did, because he knows no one's gonna fucking go against him. Whereas like Russia probably ain't shit. The ruble's fucking absolutely pounded. Like fucking hell, you know. Russia's like not doing super good. They may have a lot of billionaires, but fuck me, I don't think it's super great out there. But yeah, no. So look, but this is going to be the UK anyway. So you might as well get used to this, to other countries talking. Well, they already are, but you know, the way we look at this and go, God, look at Russia, nutters. You know, everyone's going to be looking at the UK like this anyway. So you might as well, you know, get into the mindset of a foreigner now looking at the UK. This will be interesting, because this is how they're going to be thinking about the United Kingdom whilst we read this. Now think about that whilst we go through this. Isn't that an interesting spin on it? So, Russia laws ban disrespect of government and fake news. Well, who would have thought that Russia would ban fake news? The fact that Russia has RT, Russia, if you don't know, RT is Russia Today, which is like their English language version of propaganda that the rest of the world joyously gets. You've had people like Abby Martin have worked for RT, and who else? Oh, Oliver Stone's crazy son, who's also on Infowars quite a bit. You know, that's RT, baby. That's RT. Fucking a staple of what am I talking about? It's probably better than the fucking Guardian. Anyway, Russia laws ban disrespect of government and fake news. So Russia's parliament has passed 2 bills outlawing disrespect of authorities and spreading of what the government deems to be fake news. Like Salisbury. You know, maybe Salisbury might be considered fake news, I would imagine. No, the day that nothing happened. What happened? No, nothing happened. Traitor had accident. That is all. I mean, this is how gangster Putin is. And Putin is just an international fucking thug president. That's what he is. He's a thug president. Like, outlawing disrespect. Like, he sounds like fucking Marlowe out The Wire. Like, it's just, outlaw disrespect. My name is my name. That's Putin. My name is my name. You will not disrespect. You go to jail or have head shot off and eaten by bear. The first ban refers to blatant disrespect to the state. I mean, not just, I mean, some blatant disrespect, you know. Just fucking, you know, just saying the Kremlin's full of bum boys or something like that, I expect. Its officials and Russian society. You can't even, oh God, well, I've already broken the rule because I think I've just disrespected Russian society in a couple of sentences. You know, with all the bear talk and stuff. And repeat offenders face up to 15 days in jail. That seems quite lenient for Russia, to be fair, but not lenient for the UK. No. UK will probably introduce a 90-day term in prison. You know, it'll be when Jeremy Corbyn's in power and you don't give him the keys to your shop. You know. The second bill prohibits sharing false information of public interest shared under the guise of fake news, the TASS state news agency reported. Now, fuck me. Now, when this does happen in the UK, and I'm fairly certain it's going to get to that stage anyway. So think how many people are going to go to prison? Think how many people will go to prison for that, sharing fake news. Like, what the fuck? Because loads of people sharing stuff is so easy. You just share, like, no one ever fucking clicks the details. Everyone's just headline readers these days. Like, no one fucking, how many people are you going to bang up? You're going to have to bang up everything. There's going to be more people. It's going to be like Escape from New York. It's going to be Escape from Moscow. It'll be Escape from London. You have to just create a prison state. Go, well, we're all in jail for fucking sharing fake news. There's no one left. There's just children and people who don't know how to use technology. It's just going to be fucking... And, like, kids above fucking 4 know how to use technology, or 3. So you're going to have, like, 0 to 3-year-olds and people over the age of, like, 60. That'll be the free population. Everyone else will be in jail. It'll be fucking weird. Really weird. So both new crimes carry heavy fines. Just links. President Vladimir Putin is expected to sign the bills into law once they have received approval from Russia's upper house, the Federation Council. God, you gotta love that name. The body will consider both bills on 13th of March. Oh, not long. Journalists, human rights campaigners, and even government ministers have voiced their opposition. Nikolai Svanidze, a journalist and member of Russia's civic chamber, said the barbaric legislation, barbaric, calm down, it's bad, but barbaric, make journalists fearful of speaking and writing. Business newspaper Vedomosti also criticised the measures, saying they could threaten online news sites and blogs that quote anonymous sources critical of the government. You think? But lawmakers for the governing United Russia Party, whose members proposed the bills, defend the legislation. MP Pavel, oh fuck off, Krasheninnikov, hey, that's my Russian ancestry coming to good use, said the laws would ensure protection against so-called web-based terrorists. Well, we thought that all the web-based terrorists were Russian. I think the Russian bots thing is a myth. I think it's a lie. I think it's Chinese bots, if anything, or it's our own bots. I really do. I think it's absolute bullshit. It's just, you know, Russia does do stuff, and they don't do themselves no favors. But like, I don't know, like half this stuff about Russian bots. It's just the easiest go-to thing. It's like it's the buzzword of the moment, isn't it? Going, well, it's Russian bots. That's it. And then you just sort of kill dead any sort of meaningful discussion or thought. Russian bots. Russian bots. All right. Okay. Russian bots. Like flat Earth. Oh, it's Russian bots spreading flat Earth. Right. Okay. Anti-vax people. Now they've blamed that on Russian bots. Really? That's Russian bots, is it? Isn't it just everyone's fucking stupid? Could that not be a thing? Or it's the Chinese. One of the two. Anyway, Krasheninnikov said the laws could ensure protection against so-called web-based terrorists. A colleague, Anatoly Vibony, praised efforts to discipline our citizens. That's some Russian shit. Discipline our citizens. And promote greater accountability. You gotta like that iron fist that they got. So, an internet iron curtain. I like that. Steve Rosenberg, the correspondent. Right. So, if you believe the pro-Kremlin MPs behind the legislation tackling fake news and online insults benefits the Russian people and the state, but the headline in today's edition of the newspaper, Vedomosti, tells a different story. Fake concern about society, declared its front page. Critics of the legislation believe the draft laws are part of a growing Kremlin-inspired crackdown on internet freedom. They point to another bill under debate to create a sovereign internet. Under the plan, Russian cyberspace could operate independently of the World Wide Web. Shit. So they could, the Great Firewall of China. Yeah, so they could become like China. As for the draft law on disrespect, but then again, this is going to happen to the UK anyway, so you might as well get used to it. So have a look at your future. Do you enjoy it? As for the draft law on disrespect, I love this. It's just so gangster to have a law against disrespect. Earlier this week, popular tabloid Moskovsky Komsomolets summed up concern in a stark cartoon. Oh, don't you just love those biting satirical cartoons? They really suck it to the man. It depicted I can't stop doing that on this microphone. I like the gimmick. It depicted a police officer talking to a man who was brandishing an axe with bodies lying all around. Pointing to the weapon, the policeman says, "Don't worry about that. Just make sure you don't write anything bad online about the authorities." Biting satire, I say. What are the punishments for showing disrespect? First-time offenders face fines up to 100,000 rubles. Yes, that's just 1,000. 150 pounds. Ruble ain't shit, bitch. The ruble's basically double. It's 2 to 1 of the fucking Thai baht. So like for 1 Thai baht you get 2 rubles. Like I found that out. Like not disrespecting Thailand, but like you think about Thailand as a developing country, and you think about Russia. You know, the sort of the public consciousness about Russia and Thailand. What do you think about those nations? You know, although there's a few Thai billionaires, like that one that recently died, and then there's Faskin Sinha, what's his name? Who was president? No, prime minister. They don't have presidents. Prime minister. You know, they got a couple of billionaires, but not as many billionaires as Russia. Like fucking like. You just bump into billionaires everywhere, don't you, from Russia? Repeated but it is interesting, the rubles just... repeated violations could bring double or even triple the amount in fines or a 15-day jail sentence. Sanctions for publishing so-called fake news will vary. Individuals, officials, and businesses will face fines of 300,000, 600,000, or 1 million rubles, respectively, if the spread information affects functioning or critical infrastructure like transport or communications. Any online article containing blatant disrespect for the government or public morality. So that probably means no gays, because you know they don't like the gays. They're not a big fan of the gays in the Russian government, are they? Haven't been good to gays, as we know. So they'll have to be deleted within 24 hours, or else traditional media registered with the Justice Ministry will face fines under the fake news bill. Well, originally they had been threatened with losing their licenses. News sites without a license could be blocked without warning by the state media regulator. This is that it's interesting. You know, the BBC will point to this and going, "Oh, look what's going on in Russia. This is terrible. This is anti-freedoms." Blah 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 blah. We're on the fucking same path. Don't fucking like. I'm serious. Like a few years ago, I would have thought, even more recently, I thought, yeah, that's going a bit OTT. But slowly and surely, I'm telling you, man. And I ain't talking about none of that fucking. Forget about like Tommy Robinson, because I'm really fed up with that motherfucker, sort of stealing the limelight about what's going on. Because he's, like I said, Tommy Robinson's just an opportunist. I don't care what he says about Islam, all right? You should be able to criticize Islam as much as you want. You should criticize any group that worships. I mean, I'm just about to go off on a tangent again. But what I'm saying is, like, forget about, you know, this, because he's hijacked this whole freedom of speech thing. And so we hadn't hijacked. He's just, I wouldn't say hijacked. He's just, because he's a great opportunist, and like I said, I don't disrespect opportunists, but he's sort of grabbed hold of it and he's running with it, and now it's big people, now other idiots are mocking it and shit, and it's like no, and they are happy to sort of persecute him and let him be the champion of this. I know it sounds a bit conspiratorial in essence, but it's like too much shit goes on and you're like, oh no, I shouldn't have thrown away that tinfoil hat. You know, I'm not talking about zeitgeist level lunacy, but the thing is, the more they sort of make Tommy Robinson look stupid, the more people like, the more causes he grabs onto, like free speech and the Brexit thing. You know, he's sort of becoming a sort of a poster boy of it, you know, the face, the person you get behind, and everyone else just shits on him, and therefore to support the things that he supports, that means people are shitting on that, which is kind, and then they're sort of hammering him down, and therefore everyone thinks that, you know, do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like they just bang, and everyone thinks it's fine for it to happen because it's Tommy Robinson, and he, you know, just hasn't done himself enough favors over the years. To be fair, you know, he hasn't. So, and that's a problem. So they can get away with it because of him. Like, someone else needs to step up. Someone, you know, someone who can unite both sides, because it's a side thing. Because like I said, most people are fucking idiots. They have to look everything with one single lens. Like, like, you know, people are fucking moronic. I've never understood it. It's like, you ain't got enough books on your bookshelf, bruv. Like, well, why have a bookshelf when you're only gonna fucking read one book? Why have eyes? Cut your fucking eyes out, you idiot. You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous. This place is gonna be fucking Russia. Get used to it. Learn Chinese and fucking learn how to walk like a Russian. That's my own advice to humanity in the West. Right, because if you think like what they're doing in Russia right now by you know, having laws that ban disrespect to the government, and you can get jailed for spreading fake news, for sharing fake news. Well, it's coming to a screen near you in the UK.